to the limelight.
Hi, everyone. I'm Rachel, and this is Musical Artists, a Conversation. On today's podcast episode, we have Abstract joining us today. Abstract is a soul/alternate band who will be talking about their experiences both as individual musicians and as a recently formed band, their thoughts on Columbia College Chicago's competition Biggest Mouth, and what the future holds for them and their music. Thank you guys for being here. How are you today?
I'm doing well. Happy to be here with you guys.
Same here, doing well.
Um, can you all introduce yourselves and then say what you guys play or do?
I'm Riley. I play the bass.
And I am Lee. I play the keys and sing a little bit too.
My name is Char. I'm the lead vocalist of Abstract.
Awesome. I just wanted to start out with a pretty basic question, and I just wanted to get to know, I guess, what all of your individual backgrounds are, both with performing and playing your instruments and singing.
I come from, uh, surprisingly, I come from a blues background. I grew up in church, but I also grew up around like old blues guys who are just all about the swing, all about the feel and everything. So I grew up around learning piano from them, learning bass just by hearing, and that's pretty much where I got my start. And later on, I decided to play piano in church and I pretty much expounded on that. And later on, I started picking up more instruments, but it's just a little bit about me.
I started with piano when I was 5 years old. Kind of have like a classical background. My teacher started teaching me jazz and stuff, so that's kind of how I got into that. I mean, I started with the Beatles. I wasn't playing jazz right away. Kind of towards like middle school, I got into like all sorts of music. Listening to everything I could, even like Slipknot and stuff like that, like crazy things. And yeah, I don't know. I picked up the bass because my friend was playing guitar and we wanted to jam, and never put it down.
I come from a background where nobody in my family does music. My dad played a little trumpet when he was in grade school and whatnot, but other than that, my family doesn't really have a musical history. When I was a kid, I think I was singing before I was forming sentences. And I would always sing with tracks in the car. And eventually I decided that I want to take it a little bit more seriously. And so I engaged in community theater and school theater, and I have a pretty solid theater background. Right around about high school, I decided that theater is amazing, but I really just want to sing. So then I transferred to a arts-based high school and got my grounding in many different genres: classical, gospel, jazz, and small group jazz and large ensemble jazz. And I really just fell in love with jazz and just the way that it makes me feel and the way that it connects people. And so, kind of during high school, I decided that I wanted to be more of a jazz alternative singer. And that's really where I started.
Cool. I know you guys all go to Columbia College right now. How did you guys meet? Was it through class? Did you just know people who knew each other? Or yeah, how'd you guys form what you guys are in now?
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of through a class. We all were in a class called Gospel Band, which is one of the ensembles that Columbia offers. And I think we all really kind of formed like a telepathic bond in that group because I mean, the music brings everybody together, and we all kind of knew each other, but we had only really worked in that capacity. And one day Khalif was like, "Hey, I think I'm gonna start something. Would you want to be a part of it?" And kind of asked some people from Gospel Band. And it started off as just like a really, I want to go and do this kind of thing, just like hanging out with people, jamming. And then it slowly started to kind of progress into something that was more of a solid band. But it really just started off as, I guess, a conversation with with other musicians and other vocalists as well.
Yeah, like when I first reached out to some people, I reached out to a lot of people at once. And this so happened to be the people that was in that gospel band class. Those were the ones that actually responded to me. There was some other people I reached out to and stuff like that that was a part of Abstract in like the beginning stages. But they went on and did their own thing. Building that bond and stuff and building that connection, it was definitely because I wanted to jam out, and it turned into something like they said, like Char said, it turned into something big, and it just kept going and kept growing and kept growing, and I didn't really expect it. So
That's awesome. Since you guys were in a same class, would you say that you guys started out with pretty similar music tastes or styles? I know when you guys were talking about your backgrounds, there's some similarities, some differences. So I guess if we could just talk about what it was like first coming together, and then also what your process was like finding your guys' style.
I feel like kind of all of our different backgrounds is what makes abstract what it is. I feel like one of the principles that we've always kind of breathed into our music is that we don't really fit a genre or just one genre. As much as we are multi-instrumentalists, we are also multi-genred, and we make music that can be heard for anyone. And I feel like that's not really something you see nowadays. I mean, most people, they choose one genre and they kind of stick to that, and they do all these different things inside that one genre. But we really try to incorporate everything from everybody's background, and just throw it all in there and see whatever sticks with whatever song or project we're working on. Yeah.
I think one thing that made the band special is like everyone brings a different background, a different taste profile, and we kind of just make the music that we make, and it was kind of beautiful. It turned
yeah.
into a really cool project just because of that.
One thing I will say is like even when we're creating songs, it's based off like a feeling, a mood, or sometimes Char would come in with words and be like, "Hey, can you put some music to this, guys?" Or sometimes we would have like just a musical idea, and then we write words on the spot. Like one of our songs, "Self." Me and the drummer Marcellus came up with like this cool pattern, and we just brought the bare bones to abstract and created that song on the spot. That song turned out to be so fire. I love it. Definitely a great song. You should listen to it when it comes out. But yeah, the different backgrounds just gives it like different flavors, if you may. Yeah, I think that's a great way to put it.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever like put a genre to any of our songs. They all just kind of turn out how they turn out, and yeah, no names for it.
Do you think that, or how do you think that reception of your kind of abstract musical style has been received as you've performed or started kind of posting on social media, everything? I know you guys have performed at open mics. Obviously, you guys won second place at Biggest Mouth last year. So, what was that like, kind of sharing your music for the first time with other people?
I think throughout the process of learning like the bandmates more and just like learning the band like as a large idea more as we grow into it, I think we are inherently making music for musicians. I think what we are creating, although it is palatable, I think it is complex and beautiful in a way that most musicians will, understand and kind of be able to relate to that type of musical embellishments. I feel like our lyrics are based more on a neo soul origin and really kind of focusing on the gospel of oneself and like what we have to offer to ourself and first and foremost, and then be able to offer to the world around us. And I just think like the lyrics and also the composition combined, it provides this experience for the listener. You're not only getting melodies and chords that make you feel some type of way, on top of that, the lyrics are having you kind of like reflect about your own personal story and how that ties into who you are as a listener and as a person. And so I feel like we've grown a fan base that really just respects the process of using music as an outlet to talk about the hard stuff and to maybe have a song resemble having a really bad day. And one of our songs really does that for me as someone who wrote it. And I've had other people who've listened to it, and it just the ability to put an emotion like that into a song is something that I really value, and I think that's what our early listeners really value too.
We are music students, so like we do want to show off a little bit. And I feel like that speaks through our music too. A little bit. We're kind of just throwing in everything we can and it comes out really cool.
Yeah, I mean, I've been able to see you guys perform both at the open mics and Biggest Mouth, and that's kind of the consensus among the crowd is like you guys are obviously talented and you sound like you work together, which, is such a big struggle for a lot of bands, I feel like. So I can definitely see the work that's put in there. Do you guys have like any ideas coming up in the future for different ways you want to put out your work? I know you've done some photo shoots with other Columbia students in the past. Obviously, we've talked about some of the live performances you've done. You guys have mentioned the originals that you guys have been working on. So I guess just what are your ideas for the future?
We somehow got our way into one of Columbia's ensemble classes called Recording Performance Ensemble. And through that class, we were able to work with engineering students and the engineering technology that exists at the 33 building. And we we've basically recorded enough for a small EP. And we have high hopes about recording and producing and releasing everything, all the ideas that we've had over the last 2 years. But reflecting on like the process of all of those songs, we've kind of narrowed down the ones that really, really mean the most to us and the ones that have really connected with our audience thus far. And so we definitely have at least 3 releases planned within the next near future, and we're working as hard as we can to make sure that each one is just intentional, and each one tells the story that we have for it.
Cool.
Very
I'm
well
very
put.
excited to see that. I know we're kind of running out of time here. I did want to give the opportunity for any other promotions or projects that you guys wanted to talk about, even if it's just individual. So yeah, did anyone else have anything else they wanted to promote?
I think this is our main focus right now with the EPs and we're all busy with other stuff. So yeah, we'll be lucky to have this stuff out by the end of this semester.
Awesome. That's very valid. Yeah, it takes a lot of work. Cool. Well, that's all for this episode. Thank you, Abstract, for being on the Limelight podcast. Please tell the people where they can find you.
You can find us on Instagram at abstract.official.
Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you at the next one.